travel is cool. It's the status symbol of the late 20th century. It says affluent, sophisticated, but it comes at a cost, only part of which is met by the traveller. The rest is a build-up of carbon emissions that will be paid for in rising temperatures over the coming decades. I'm Jon Dee, and this is Tipping Point. If you fly from here in Sydney all the way over to here in London and back, then you'll emit the same amount of carbon emissions as 3 average cars for a whole year. Now that's a lot of carbon. The busiest air route here in Australia is the short hop between Sydney and Melbourne, yet even this return trip will emit 600 kilos of CO2 per person. Now if you want to know how much that is, this balloon represents 50 grams of greenhouse gas, so that's 1,200 of these balloons. In 2006 alone, 45 million passengers flew domestically, and it's getting worse. In the 10 years to 2005, domestic air travel in Australia has grown by 50%. On the other hand, emissions from rail have fallen over the same period. If you took the train from Sydney to Melbourne instead of a plane, you'd significantly reduce your carbon emissions. But some might say, well, the train's uncomfortable and it takes forever. But what if we had a far faster rail alternative? The TGV in France has a top speed of over 500 kilometres an hour. Now you could get from the centre of Sydney to the centre of Melbourne in under 2 hours. No check-in, more legroom, no expensive taxis to the airport, and it's safe. Since the TGV started in 1981, that's right, over a quarter of a century ago, it has not recorded a single fatality. Now, the government will tell you that a fast train is expensive, but so is buying aircraft. One Australian airline currently has $25 billion worth of aircraft on order. Now, most of that money will go straight overseas. Money spent building a fast train link, however, would stay mainly in Australia. But let's face it, airline travel is here to stay, especially if you're visiting family. But for many business people, airline travel has become mundane, even boring. Avoiding air travel can be as simple as plugging a webcam into a computer that uses Skype, Windows Messenger or iChat. You can see and interact with the other person, and best of all, the software's free. It's good for the planet, but it's great for keeping in touch with family who are interstate or overseas. If you're a business, it's also great for the bottom line. I'm Jon Dee from the Weather Channel. See you online. Hi, Jon Dee again. To find out more about this episode of Tipping Point, log on to weatherchannel.com.au.